I got the special jewelry.
I hear Tony Caggiano over there in the back corner saying he had the shiny mic last week.
Well,
I don't know.
I think just because it matched. That's all. Everything's got to match.
Right. So then,
That really bothers me. By the way, I like
what?
a monochromatic. Always.
Yes. So is that matching your outfit?
Well,
Are you okay?
Matches the silver.
It's black and silver.
Wait a minute. Wait. And is there?
And there's blue tape.
Yeah. What's the blue tape on there?
I have black.
I'm
tape.
wearing blue.
I have black tape.
You have black tape?
Black tape. And
Is that a Navy
I'm wearing
shirt?
blue.
Is that like a Navy?
Navy.
Navy blue.
Wow. How did we do
I
this?
don't know.
It was like it was meant to be.
We got to give credit to the costume designer.
Who's the costume designer?
Tony.
Who did that?
Tony's
Tony
the costume
designed it.
designer.
That's fabulous. Well, I like that. I might have to think about it. Maybe I have to start blinging out my own microphone for these things.
You know,
I
bedazzle
kind of
it.
like
Yeah,
this.
bedazzle it, yeah.
I'm not a sparkly bedazzler kind of girl. That I have to say. I need like studs. I have a friend who could bedazzle anything. She could bedazzle you.
Oh,
That's a
yeah?
good show. Yeah, we just have her bedazzle you while we're.
Bedazzle me. Yeah. That's the name of the show.
I'm not down with that. I'm not sparkles and glitter and all that stuff. So anyway, so good to see you guys tonight. So we're gonna be live on Facebook in about 5 minutes. We are streaming live to the Facebook Craft Aid page and the YouTube Craft Aid page and channel. I guess can't butcher the way you talk about that. And I think I have it rigged to go to my personal timeline too. So all interesting to see where these things
I
are
don't know
going.
how you do that, but
It was about a month and a half of research, a lot of crying.
Oh, you too.
A lot of have you been crying lately?
A lot, yeah, a lot of crying.
that's why they have the sunglasses on. Hide the puffy
I
eyes.
can tell you what. Have you been crying? Oh, well, that's weird. I could hear it echoing back. Greg, have you been crying?
No, I haven't cried recently.
Has Dan cried at the brewery?
Usually it's more with F-bombs.
Oh.
Usually it's crying out versus crying, followed by throwing things.
I can't imagine that. He seems like such a.
He is a yin yang of himself. He can be very mild mannered, and then he's an emotional guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve. You know what you get with him. You never have to wonder what's on his mind. That's for sure.
No, I don't think so. And he loves my daughter.
He loves Natalie.
Actually, a funny little story about Natalie and Dan, one of the owners of Long Island Brewery. I ran Alive on 25 in Riverhead for about 4 years. Natalie, I guess, was 9 years old at the time. She's 13 now. So if anybody's met my spunky little, now 13-year-old, mini-me, at 9 years old, she proclaimed that she needed to have a handset and be on a the headset, so she could talk and tell everybody what to do. And I'm a mom, I'm running the event. I'm like, I don't know. And then someone's like, well, she's mature enough. I think it was Bob Kern actually who said, just give her a microphone.
Sounds about right.
Bob.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe an event or event 2 in, or maybe the next year. I don't even know Dan. There's this big grizzly dude who's like, Natalie for supervisor. And I'm like, who is this 6'5" guy who's in a beer pen that knows my 9-year-old kid?
Yeah.
And is
It's
voting
creepy
her
or cool. I don't know which way it's
yeah,
going.
I didn't know which way to go. And I'm like, well, hi, I'm Diane. I'm Natalie's mom. He's like, well, I know that, but it was just like, that's my kid. And yeah, I'm still not quite sure how I feel about that, but I might have to keep an eye on her.
She has made her presence known.
Yeah.
I think more people know Natalie. Like, I ran for town council and whatever, no big deal. But I'm like, I want to be like, hi, Diane Tucci, Natalie's mom for town council. Like that should have been my campaign.
That's a good campaign, by the way.
Yeah, I worked that one a little bit.
I like that.
She recorded one of my my campaign commercials. Vote for my mom, Diane Tucci. Oh, yeah.
You gotta love that.
Yeah, you got to get them in where you can. Because
Yeah,
I didn't play dirty, but I thought that was a little dirty.
Yeah, you need the kid vote.
Plus, there's only a couple more years, and she won't like you or want to talk to you anymore.
I don't know. I think I can't get rid of her. But I
We'll
keep
see.
that in mind. We do have a few moments, but she's a pretty amazing kid. So we probably got about 1 more minute, and then we're officially live on the air. Even though I know that
We're unofficially on the air right now.
we're unofficially.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Last week we didn't have Wi-Fi. We had a guy come out, Joe Kane, who now I forget the name. Green Day band, Green Day tribute. He's played in Crush band. Crush. Thank you, Ryan. I knew somebody could help
I know
save
those
my
guys,
brain.
yeah.
Comes all the way out here from up the island, Massapequa, somewhere, in hurricane-ish weather to get here for 20 minutes. We up to 20 minutes before the broadcast, we had great Wi-Fi. The tent outside was even being held down by a tractor, which was interesting.
Right. Tony was telling me
Tony
about that. The wind
had
was
to
so
pull
bad
up-
it was lifting it up.
Yeah, so I mean, it was pretty brutal out there, but we were like, we're going to go, we're going to do it. And we lost our Wi-Fi, so we couldn't actually go live, but we had Ryan here from Suffolk Recording Studios, who is awesome, and he videoed
Awesome.
it. And we were able to give our show out to the audience, so. It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so are we ready?
Official?
It's official. Okay. So hi, everybody. I'm Paul Mahas. This
I'm
is
Diane
Greg.
Tucci.
This is Diane Tucci. Wait a minute, no. You're Greg Martin. This is Diane Tucci. I think we got that all mixed
Yeah.
up. I'm Diane Tucci
I'm Paul Mahas.
And Greg Martin.
from Long Island Beer Company tonight.
Yes.
Paul Mahas is our entertainer for the evening. We have Greg here, who is one of the participants in Craft Aid. He's one of our amazing 8 North Fork breweries that we are doing the fundraiser for to help keep the breweries in business and help the musicians on the East End. And all the breweries had a special Craft Aid beer that they made. We have a passport card that you can get at any one of the 8 breweries. Now I'm going to try and go through them quick. Jamesport Farm Brewery, Long Island Beer Company, Mustache Beer Company, and somewhere I'm going to mess it up because I don't know why you guys can't just call yourselves like brewery and like. But since you have all worked with me on Winterfest and other things, Twin Forks Brewing,
Yep.
North Fork Brewing Company.
Yep.
Okay.
You got 5.
Greenport Brewing Company.
Yep.
Harborfront.
No.
No. Eastern
Eastern
Front.
Front.
I knew I was going to mess
Yeah.
one up. I don't know if they're brewery or beer
Eastern
company.
Front Brewing, I think it is.
Eastern Front Brewing. Twin Forks, I got them.
Yeah.
Who did I miss? I missed somebody. Did I miss somebody? Mustache.
No, you said Mustache.
I said Mustache.
Trade Winds.
And Trade Winds Brewing, right down on Main Street in Riverhead.
Yep.
So those are our 8 North Fork breweries who are a real important part of our East End culture here. And Craft Aid was started to have live music performances. We videotaped 8 phenomenal bands right here in Jamesport Farm Brewery. We did a live broadcast. And then we felt like this was a great platform that we could build to keep talking about the great beer, the culture of the breweries on Long Island, and of course a way to bring you musicians and talk about how we can support musicians during this time. So
And we appreciate it.
absolutely. You know I love you guys. So Greg was supposed to bring, last week we talked about Jamesport Farm Brewery's Culch beer, which was great. Long Island brewed a beer for Craft Aid. They were supposed to bring it, but
We ran out of it. So we brewed.
you guys drank all the beer.
But there's more coming, so that's the good
Okay.
news. So yeah, we brewed a beer called Unfazed, obviously kind of tied into the COVID, and it was our social media post was kind of we're going to remain unfazed through this process, which obviously is a lie. We've all been very phased by it. But that was kind of our FU to the world that we're living in right now and the disruption that it's caused for our businesses and the businesses that all feed off each other. So it's not obviously just breweries. It's musicians. It's all of these artists that we deal with. So it was an important part of it. We were really happy to be part of the Craft Aid project. So we brewed this New England style IPA, and we were very pleased that it sold out in about 2.5 weeks. Wow. So we actually brewed another batch today. So
Great.
About 3 weeks, it'll be back again.
3 weeks? Could
Yeah,
you
about 3
text
weeks.
me when you got it done so
Give you
I
the
can
inside
get a
skinny.
special delivery on that?
Sure, no problem.
What kind of beer is it?
It's a New England style IPA. So it's a hazy IPA. It's a newer style type beer the last couple of years. It's very soft palate, but very hoppy, not bitter, but juicy, as they call it. Hazy. It literally looks like a glass of orange juice when you pour it out.
Wow.
Because there's so much hops that are put into the back end of it. But it's a really nice palate, and not going to lie, I did drink a lot of them, which is probably why
Well,
we're
it definitely
out
wasn't
of it.
me because I didn't get any of it. Unlike the cults that I've managed to get out of the wonderful hosts here at Jamesport Farm Brewery. How did you guys decide to go with that style of IPA? And can you talk a little bit about the brewing process and tasting it? How do you know the beer's even good when it comes out?
We don't.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's just like anything else, that just becomes years and years of doing it when you realize what works. So brewing is very much like any other craft that you work on. Eventually, you just become comfortable with your skin of it, and you know what is going to work and what isn't. So when we build recipes, when we started, we used to test brew everything. We do small batches and slowly build up, and then at some point, you get comfortable enough that you say, well, we're going to make 600 or 700 gallons of it. And it is terrifying, and you hope for the best because that's kind of when you're just getting into your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And they're not all, knocks out of the park, but you learn from each one of them like you do with anything, So this was just a style that we wanted to do. It's a style that we actually haven't done before, but it's a very on-trend style. We're not trendy. Typically, we're us. We do us.
Yeah.
We do what we're comfortable with, and we're very happy in that space. But we wanted to dip our toe in that pool, so it's been, we're on trend usually about 2 years after the trend, so we're on trend, off trend.
I'm usually think of the trend before it happens, but I just don't get to it.
I'm so far behind, I'm ahead.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like retrograde
so we're bringing
or
it back. So, so it was just, we met with our brewers and kind of discussed, what do we want this to be, and we build it on paper. We bring in, some special ingredients and some special hops in this particular one, and we were super pleased with it. And fortunately, I guess so were customers because they kept buying it.
I guess so. So I guess that's the beer to get when you guys re-release it. So if people are watching and you see that beer come back out, that seems like and you can get one. Do you remember what these cards do? Everyone gets you have to go around to each one of the 8 breweries, right?
Yep. And then if you get them all, Mustache, I believe, is the one they have pins.
Okay, right.
And you can go there and you get like a special commemorative pin.
Right.
So due to the fact that we didn't anticipate running out so quickly, we've been honoring it that if you buy any 4-pack with the passport, we'll stamp it for you so it doesn't hang you up.
That works.
And the other cool thing about the Unfazed beer is that, we're a distributing brewery, so besides the tasting room, we also sell out to stores and bars and restaurants. And we distribute from Massachusetts to New Jersey. So that Craft Aid beer is in Boston right now, and it's in the Jersey Shore. So it's got some legs that it's been going out and about, and people are seeing Craft Aid in Massachusetts and in New Jersey, and they can go on and go to the website and read about the stories of it as well. So
and all the breweries are on there. Maybe at some point we can grab one of the Kolsch beers that we have here and we can show everybody what the label looks like on it, so that they can know to identify it. The COVID was pretty hard on everybody, and you're a small brewery. Speaking, how many people were working in your brewery, and if you don't mind, like just talking about it a little bit and kind of what happened and where we came to 5 months later, and
So we kind of saw the writing on the wall on probably the 15th. We had a big party on the 14th.
I was there.
We had our St. Patrick's Day party on the 14th, which I woke up that morning and I was like, this is going to be it for a while.
Yeah.
So I tore it up myself that day. But the 15th, we knew that it was coming. We saw it happening in Jersey, and we knew it was going to hit us. And so my partner and I, the morning of the 16th, had to have a hard conversation, and we laid 6 full-time employees off and about 12 part-time employees off, which was very difficult. And you asked about if I was crying earlier when we were talking pre-live broadcast. I will tell you, St. Patrick's Day morning, I was fighting back tears because that felt awful. And not for me. I mean, we were scared that obviously, are we going to lose our business or whatever that we've been building for 11 years? But you realize the effect of the livelihoods of the people that work for you. And it's a brewery. It's not a corporate office desk job. We're a social business, right? We socialize. We go. It's funny. Like we'll rent buses and go to Salt Shack to go watch live music, to watch bands play, and so you become. We always call it our brew family, and so we're very intertwined in each other's lives. We've had weddings, from coworkers. We've had children born, So it's much more than just the job, but we were fortunate in the respect is that our business, while it was shut down and very difficult, we had to make these hard choices. We were still able to sell to go out the front door. We were still able to distribute to supermarkets like we do through our wholesalers in, like I said, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York. So we didn't maybe get hit as hard as some of the other places. Some breweries don't distribute. Jamesport they're an on-site facility.
Right, exactly.
So they take a much harder hit in that. And again, there's layers to the whole thing with it because that ripple effect of we have a small spot. They have live music every weekend here. we don't do a ton of live music except for special events. So all of the musicians that had gigs booked, they're not getting paid, you know. So it's like that whole ripple effect down. And what we're back to being open even at limited capacity. You know, Ryan, who's behind the camera, we were talking earlier, like you know, there's not much music venues to go to right now. Right. And you know, that's it's sad, it's disheartening, and you don't know when that's going to change. And it's tough for, you know, multiple industries. It's not just us.
I mean, essentially, we're all in the same business. We're actually in the event industry.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, you buy a beer to go to the backyard barbecue and usually have live music or a DJ, you know. So it's impacted, you know, really like, I think 100-fold.
Sure.
You know, in such a terribly profound way.
Yeah.
You know, so the word that we're all using is pivoting, you know.
Yeah, I said, you know,
disgusting.
for 2020, we learned some new words: pivot,
reimagining,
social,
reimagine.
Yeah, I skipped that one.
Yeah, I don't want to do.
I did the pivot.
I want to do the old thing. I want to do what we were doing, you know, March 13th.
Social distancing. I learned my whole entire business was social gatherings.
Yeah.
Right.
So there was like 4 new
It's the
phrases
complete
that came in.
opposite of that.
Yeah, all of a sudden one day I go, you know, all through this whole thing, I'm like, you know, and people always ask me to describe what I do because I'm here, I'm there, I do this. I'm like, wow, I'm in the business of social gatherings and we're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know when we're going to be able to do it again. And I work with you, and the whole thing, you know, when the breweries, yourself, Jamesport Farm Brewery, Mustache Brewery came to me with the idea of Craft Aid, I've worked with you all on Alive on 25, where maybe you don't have a lot of music in your brewery, but you guys are huge music supporters of the music scene.
Absolutely.
You have great bands at Alive on 25. You're expanding your tasting room in your area, so hopefully you'll be able to have more bands.
At some point, yes.
At some point. And Mustache and you guys all came to me, and I'm like, yeah, we need to help each other out right here. And I thought one of the most admirable things was when you created Craft Aid, that you were doing this for all 8 breweries and coming together as a community to support each other, and that the proceeds would be divided equally amongst everybody. So you were banding together in, you know, what could be considered a competitive business for sure. So,
I mean, you know, it's the brew industry is very good because most of the people that start breweries are people that tend to not go with the normal flow of things, which is why we're in the brewery business, right? So,
and probably why I love you guys.
but as a community, we're all actually very supportive of each other, and it's constant. It's not just like a big event like this. Even, you know, when you have like Blue Point Brewery, Anheuser-Busch corporate owned, we'll call them or they'll call us and say, we ran out of XYZ hop, you know, do you guys happen to have any? Can we borrow some? And that happens, honestly, like on the daily between breweries all over Long Island. You know, besides the 8 North Fork breweries, there's, I think, 52 breweries on Long Island.
Right.
Wow.
So somebody is always running out of something. Somebody always forgot to order something, or something's always back ordered. And as a community, we all do, even though we are all competitors and we're all working within the same space and we're really vying for the same customer, we all do it very supportive that way, whereas we'll all help each other out because everybody's going to be on the other side of that fence, and usually pretty quickly.
Right, absolutely.
So it's been very nice to have that, I mean, community of people that are kind of the oddballs of society that have joined together.
Yeah, those are silver lining stories, you know, emerging from this situation. And those are great stories because it is a community. You know, at the end of the day, you know, they keep saying we're all in this together, but for some more than others, you know.
Yeah,
we're all going through the same situation of having to deal with COVID, but we are definitely not in this together. I mean, we are, I just have to say, there are businesses, and kudos to small businesses that I've seen come out of this and survive and thrive and grow. Personally, that's not, you know, pivot is a big word for me because I've had to completely change. I did large-scale community festivals for a living. I don't even know when that's going to come back or what it's going to look like, and you know, it will eventually, but from here to there, we've got to figure out something to do. So I'm not in it together with the people. I've got 3 kids, musicians. It's a whole nother, you know, and maybe we'll talk about that a little bit now, but it's a whole different thing where you have solo and duo and trio guys who can go out and get a gig pretty easily, but there's a lot of really big bands out there, 5, 6, 7-piece bands who this was their professional career, their only source of income.
Yeah.
And that future is looking a little more bleak to me than the event spaces, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know, but, you know.
Well, I can tell you, you know, personally that the industry was hard to begin with, and the bar business is very hard. I owned a place, and again, that was even running at full capacity with a crowd, we still didn't make it. I felt so bad when I heard that these places were going to have to operate at 25 or 50% capacity, when the margins just aren't even there in that regard. So we all, came in. I can play solo, thank God. I love playing with the band. I miss it. But we found ourselves like having to go in really, really inexpensive.
Yeah.
And there's no way that I can sustain a livelihood that way. It's just impossible.
Well, and you're a full-time musician.
Yeah,
That's
I've been a
it
full-time
for
musician
a long time.
since I'm 18 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the first time where it's like, dare I say, I'm probably out of business in the sense that, I was able to maintain the house and
Sure.
raise a family and do all that. It's just not coming in that way, So.
And this is something I've talked about probably a little bit every time, was my fear of the impact on musicians, that they'd start to be asking to lower their asking
Right.
price. And I had a discussion, and I said, well, but they're out of work and they're still struggling and they're still doing a good job, but it becomes that I don't know, whatever you want to call
It's
it,
a
that thing.
symbiotic relationship with the
Yeah.
clubs and the bar owners and really all the industries. I mean, it really is a symbiotic relationship. So, when you see everybody suffering, you're like, well, listen, I gotta cut my price because they can't afford it. I know they can't afford
So
it.
you're not going to work. That's the
And
bottom
I'm not
line.
gonna-
You're
and
not
I'm
going to
not gonna
work.
work.
And we have opted to. We're not asking anybody to lower their price because I feel it's almost disrespectful to a sense. And I
Yeah.
understand listen, there's mechanics of the money of it, and I understand that because we're on the paying side of the gig. So what we've just done is when we've gone out, we've just presented as this is what our budget is. And if you can't do that, we're fine with that. Sometimes we're approaching people that we've never approached before, but we're just saying this is what our budget is. And if you can work within that, great. And if we can't, we understand that.
Right.
Or if we're close, just let me know or whatever, and we'll try to get there. Because I feel it's unfair to somebody to tell me their rate and me to say, can you now cut that in half? And again, I understand both sides of it.
Yeah, it's
So
hard.
it's funny when I'm playing at a place, and this has been forever because I've been on both sides of, the music industry, the business end of it. So if I look at a bar and I see that the bar is not full, most restaurants, bars will pay the band from a percentage of what the bar rings, not what the restaurant rings. So I would always have a problem with that because I said, I converted a lot of those people into restaurant customers that are now coming to see me on a regular basis. So I thought, okay, that's a little unfair, but I understood the metrics of that, But now, looking at the same thing, looking out into this, the very small sea of people out there, it's very anemic and it's very sad, there's no industry right now the way we know it. I don't even know how they could even afford paying us the money they're paying us, $150, $200. It's very, very little, and the private parties just aren't there in the way that they were, and everybody's afraid.
And you've played places like the Suffolk Theater. I mean, you've played large venues at 89 North that are not even open. And so I was told they may not open until hell freezes over, which scares me.
We were fortunate enough to headline the Pink Tie event. We were in great company, with the other headliners, Scott Stapp Creed, Mike Del Judas. So we headlined it, and it was a great event. But they can't do their event this year. So all those places that really were our bread and butter. The bars were, I looked at those as really, paid rehearsals. But if people want to know what the inside of how my brain works in my business, that's how I looked at it.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on inside your brain.
You really don't.
I think the whole world wants to know.
There's like a hamster running in there.
Is there a rating on this show? I just want to know before we get into this.
It's very scary in there. No, but I would look at those things as really like paid rehearsals. You weren't making money to sustain a living. I wasn't a part-timer, so I really relied on those high-ticket events. Dance Papers, Taste of Two Forks.
Right. Yep.
We
Sure.
did Grill Hampton every year after year. Really, really big events. All the fundraisers, JDRF, American Cancer Society. I can't imagine what those places are going through right now, not raising the money for those.
I was just going to say that, the whole flip to the other side is all these events that you're talking about, these big charity events, all these charities that are going to suffer, that they can't do these events to get the draw in to raise the funds that they also need. I mean, that's a whole nother, and honestly, that's not even something I even thought about, Paul, till you just said that. But there's a whole nother side of that.
Well, and then you have the tent company, the sound guy, the PA, the lighting, staging, flower people. It's such a trickle down in
servers,
the industry.
right? All
servers,
of that stuff. Caterers,
and a lot of those people can't necessarily pivot. So I'd use someone, maybe I'm able to pivot. Been a business owner my entire life, so you just kind of brace yourself. You can't own a business and not be able to weather the storm in some way, but not everybody's made like that, and they're just flat out of work with no opportunities. And like you, other people are counting on these big gigs throughout the year to sustain their families. And what do you do now?
Right.
So,
and the truth is, we're just going to have to figure it out. I'm certainly not in a terrible situation like I know probably a lot of other people are. In other ways, I've been really, really blessed getting to spend time with family, which we never get to do.
I agree.
So I was really happy.
I got to see my boyfriend for 5 straight months now, and it's summertime.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Right.
You guys are still alive, so I guess it's. Yeah, I know. We live together, and you haven't been gigging that much, so you're still okay.
We really made the best of it, and under the circumstances, it's what you can do. But if I could say something to people that go out to the restaurants. And some people are having a problem with people wearing the masks and not wearing the masks, and the servers, and and people being shamed for. I did a gig, one of the first gigs. A guy hired me, a good friend of mine who owns a club. Said, "Hey, they're looking for somebody. Can you come in and do it?" I did the gig. People came out to see me. And they came up and were singing without their mask on, and I got such, terrible kickback from that, and so did the club. Cuomo's on everybody. So my point is that there's a lot of that shaming going on. And you have to understand that some people are fighting for their survival, their lives. This is their livelihood. This is what they built. So, I'm definitely not, and you can make it political and if you want. I'm not a big fan of the masks. I'm not, but if I got to support a place that's got to enact that, I don't agree with it, but I want to see these places thrive,
Right.
People coming up and wanting to sing, that's a normal thing.
Sure.
People having fun and joy, and you're going to have a problem with that and turning the place. I heard of friends of ours had a Sweet 16 at their venue, and one of the guests called in and said, turned them in.
Because they had too many guests. It was, I know about this. They had a party for 75 planned, and they can't have 75
people. If you have a problem with that, you really have to take a step back and understand that these venues are getting their butts kicked in a very, very profound, terrible way, that they're really fighting for survival.
Absolutely.
I know that everybody's industry has been affected that way. And in the service industry especially, because, and I feel terrible for these people that have to serve in the masks and the hot weather, outdoors, in facilities
tip 'em extra.
that aren't made.
Tip well.
Converting parking lots into, into dining areas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have to look at it in the regard, like, be respectful, be understanding, and before you turn somebody in, and make it a point to be the police, I'm not for that. I'm for helping everybody survive and thrive in a very, very unprecedented.
It takes a moment to be a little bit empathetic, and again, to not to put yourself. You don't know what that person's going through.
Yeah.
You don't. So again, before you dime them out or whatever, just take a step back, like whatever.
Yeah.
And like you said, and people are also, thriving and missing that social atmosphere. And if they get caught up in a moment during a song and they forget where they're at in that moment, first of all, isn't that the point?
That's the point of it, right? Yeah, yes, it is.
Take yourself out of your day-to-day space.
That's exactly what it is.
So, heaven forbid that you whatever, like. You're gonna, but it's somebody's gonna be online in Costco, 4 feet behind me.
And that's what I want to touch on just a second too, because as a musician and performer, I've been in the music business 30 years. Photographer, I've been there. It's hard for you playing to a crowd of people, at mass people, because I know that most performers feed off of the energy of the crowd. And with all this, no dancing, no touching, no blah, no, 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 no.
A room full of eyeballs.
It's got to create. I haven't even been to see anybody play live, so I haven't even seen it for myself. But
it's very sad.
Didn't you say to me it's like looking at a crowd from The Walking Dead or something?
It's like you're playing in Bizarro World. It's like it is.
Imagine.
It's like a scene from The Walking Dead with the masks and again. I feel bad for the places that have to police themselves, but I completely understand. But to see somebody dancing and then security coming up and saying you can't dance.
It's Footloose.
I mean, it feels like Footloose.
It is Footloose.
You know, I mean, I say that all the time.
We are in a barn right now.
Yeah.
That was part of the movie line, wasn't it?
Who's going to dance on the bar? It'll probably be Paul, not me.
So, I mean, it is the point. And anybody that loves live music, there is a palpable, physical energy. I say when you're playing music, you push air. That's what you do. Speakers push air. There are vibrations, sympathetic vibrations. You hit that note, and now all of a sudden, you get a whole place singing along. You get to the point when you're doing a night, and you hit that song just right, and you see the whole place moving, and everybody is in sync, you know. For me, that's church.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
Because everybody is moving and is singing along. And, you know, it's just the most natural, basic thing to sing and dance, you know, and be joyful.
It goes back to the beginning of human times and records.
Absolutely.
Right? So gathering and fire and singing and dancing and drinking, it's, you know. That's
Wait, when do we get fire involved in this thing?
Well, that's a whole other thing. People would sing and dance around a fire.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we should go light fires somewhere. And that's a whole nother show. Maybe not.
So, I mean, it's a really odd time, you know, so I do a lot of praying, you know, and my prayers always are, you know, for peace and everyone to get along and figure it out. It's so divisive right now, and it's hard to even have a conversation because you don't know where people stand, and everyone's angry right now.
Sure.
Instead of politics, it's like, are you a mask wearer, a non-mask wearer?
Right, it's all turned political.
For businesses opening, not for businesses opening. And,
school, not school.
You know,
right.
I overheard a woman talking the other day about, you know, how, I was someplace, how all the bars should be shut down. And I'm just biting my tongue and I'm going like, but you don't think about all the families behind that. And because I've been working with businesses and small businesses for so long, like a lot of them, this is their life earnings that are in these places and they're hanging on by a thread. And you just want to just dismiss it and just close everybody down, because I heard the conversation. It wasn't taken out of context. And it's scary. But on the music point, and again, what we're trying to do here with this Tuesday night.
Which is great, by the way. I love what you guys are doing. This is amazing.
But we need a platform, and this is what we're hoping to build with it, because there's still a lot of people who aren't getting to come out to see their favorite bands. There's a lot of people's favorite bands they're not getting to see because they're not performing.
Yep.
So as an industry, keeping a place like Jamesport Farm Brewery open and surviving, thriving, and attention on them, they've got a great stage in here. On the other side, they have they put in a brand new garage door window, so a band can play on one side of it, and the fans are on the other side, so the band is safe, everybody's safe. Like, they've gone to an extreme to be able to still have live music here. But that's just one place, and we don't have a lot of places. A lot of places don't have the capability to do that.
Right, some places can't adapt,
right.
You know, obviously in that manner.
Yeah.
So when we have our favorite bands, like you're playing, like you said when we started, duo, trios, you know, single, solo, acoustic, it's fine. But we still have to come together as an industry and figure out how do we get our really great bands back on stages where we can locally see them, live stream it, bring it to people in their living room, you know.
Yeah.
We got to figure that out yet a little bit.
You know, I've done duos, I've done singles. I hate playing by myself. Again, for me, it is about that connection. So not having
energy from the people you're playing with.
Yeah, the people that you're playing with, absolutely. You know, we were talking about that earlier. You know, when New Life Crisis was doing its thing and we were out with the full band, no set list. You know, I could play a note and they would know exactly what I was doing. So there was nonverbal communication. That stuff is really, now, I mean, sorry to say that some people took that for granted, but now, man, you really wish for that,
Yeah.
We all thought that was always going to be there. I mean, I definitely did. You know?
I don't. The day that you couldn't, like you said, go out and listen to music and get up and dance, and
It seems right. It just seems archaic, that we're in this situation, and surreal.
Yeah.
So we're hoping here on Tuesday nights to continue talking about the breweries, the Craft Aid. That Craft Aid really is, it still is a fundraiser. All the bands, everybody who put this together here tonight, everyone volunteered their time. There was costs associated that were laid out that haven't been recouped. So if you're looking at this, and even if you can Venmo, all the information should be up at this craftaid.org website. Just help support us, because in return, if you're able to help support us, we can bring in more bands and we can start. We don't really want a band to come in here and volunteer, though we'll take it if they want to do it. We want to be able to provide a different kind of platform where we can pay people and have them play safely, because there's band members still that some of them have compromised health issues and won't come out and play.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variables here.
Yep.
A lot.
So,
and you have to really respect all that.
100%.
I had many different musicians that I played with. Some were gung-ho about playing out and they didn't care, and some weren't. And you can't get mad. I remember the post or the meme. Some people want to wear masks. Some people don't. That's okay. Be kind. Some people want to open their business. Some people don't. That's okay. Be kind. I'm like, where is that post?
Yeah.
Everyone forgot about that one.
Yeah.
It's a really easy one, too.
It's a really easy one.
Yeah.
Do you?
Right.
And
be kind.
And be kind.
Yeah, I like that.
Don't shame the people that are just trying to figure it out, because you really, at the end of the day, things may appear very different on Facebook. I'm a very big. Listen, I wear my heart on my sleeve too. Those people that know me personally, I don't share all those things because it's not always appropriate to do that.
Right.
But trust me, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in any industry that you're in, for that reason. It's not part of the fabric of your business.
Right.
And nor should it be.
Well, we're not going on there crying the blues, because who the heck would want to listen to that? You
Exactly.
tune out.
Exactly.
People want to see other things that make them feel good, and so we're good at that, because we're
exactly. But
entertain people in different ways, and you as well. You're there to make people feel good.
But there should be
I'm the lubricant for the music.
Yes,
I love that
you are.
lubricant.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
I got great lubricant right here. This is the cider, by the way, the Pineapple
Express.
Pineapple Express. Yeah, I can't even say it right now.
It's doing its job.
It's doing its job. So amazing, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
this
they've
is great.
been Jamesport Farm Brewery has been super with hosting everybody and giving beer to everybody who's come in and played. I have to say, it's but even that, I heard stories that when this COVID thing hit, and a lot of people don't know this stuff, but and I don't know if it happened to you. In a couple of minutes, we're going to wrap up soon because we want to hear Paul play. But some of the breweries were dumping beer because it went bad in their tanks, and I'm like,
oh my God.
We chose to drink it.
Love it.
You must have had a lot of beer. Well, anyway, so, but Paul that's good. I'm glad. At least no beer was wasted.
No beer shall go to waste.
So you are going to play for us tonight. We're gonna keep doing this every Tuesday night. We are not going to be here next Tuesday night due to a scheduling conflict, but follow us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. We have 8 North Fork breweries that have been involved. We're going to talk about everyone's beer a little bit. We're looking for feedback from the audience. If you have things that you want to have us talk about, if you have musicians, let's try that one again.
Live.
That's live. I haven't done that yet. I haven't dropped the F-bomb yet either. Live musicians, anybody I just want musicians. If you have any musicians that would like to play, what's in the beer? I didn't eat either. Anyway, we want to hear from everybody because this is an organic process. So we want to know what people want to hear, what we can bring to you in your home if you're not going out, and your feedback. And, give us some comments about what we're doing. And
and it doesn't even have to be like, constructive feedback. Even if just, feel free to jump
Thumbs
on.
up.
Well, just whatever you're missing out there. Like, again, what band did you love to go see that you can't now?
Yeah.
What venue did you love to go to that you can't now? It doesn't have to be about the 8 breweries. It doesn't have to be about, but just,
Good point.
People miss these things. Just talk about it.
This is really, again, keep the beer flowing and the live music playing was the slogan for Craft Aid, and that's really what it's about.
That's good,
There's a strong connection between the breweries, particularly here on the east end of Long Island, where it's a really strong hub for our culture. You guys have risen and, putting us on, in the map in the world for, brewery hub, which is great because I love it. And you're all really awesome. It's all small businesses, farms. But Paul's going to perform for us in a couple minutes.
Okay.
But
awesome.
You are going to be doing, what are you doing tonight?
Oh, so I'm going to do, I've been doing more originals now lately. It's just, that's my pivot right now. I've always been writing and recording throughout my whole career. And I got signed, we were with Tommy Boy, we had a hit song. I've just had terrible timing in my professional career. But I shouldn't say that. I mean, we had a #1 hit in Germany, and I've had a very interesting career. But shortly after I got signed, 9/11 happened, and the industry from Napster just got decimated.
Wow.
And I found myself back in the cover scene. And I got to tell you, it was very, very difficult, then. But we plowed through and we survived. This is just completely, I don't think anybody saw this on their radar. And and when I started seeing people playing out and saying, I don't own the copyrights to this, I'm like, I ain't playing anybody else's songs. I own all my stuff.
Great.
I'm playing my stuff.
I can't wait. So we get original music.
Original music.
By Paul Mahas tonight.
Yeah, and I'm signed with a label in Vegas called Hickory Music. And I'm working with other artists, young artists. I'm mentoring and managing other young artists. Serena.
We're going to bring her on.
We're going to bring her on.
Okay.
And I put her together with a great guitar player, Ronnie Shasha, and he's a guitar virtuoso. And we're getting some signs to donate now, man.
I push that button.
It all.
Well, I'll talk when Paul goes up and gets ready. I'll talk about donating.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I feel icky with that stuff. That's why I never do my own business. By the way, I have Rose handle all my business.
And she's amazing.
And she does great. I don't
and you can't live without her.
I can't live without her. I want to be the artist. I'm the artist. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. They call it the music business, but there is definitely a divide there. I stay on the artistic side of it.
Yep, it's hard to do both.
It is. It is.
So
I'll get ready.
Thank you. You get ready. We'll wrap up with a couple words about Craft Aid while you get ready.
Awesome.
Everyone stay tuned. Paul's going to play. He's got about a half hour, 25 minutes to play for us. It is 8:37, so this is perfect. So Paul, you can play your whole set that you have, and we can wrap it up from there. So again, we're going to be streaming. Thank you to Ryan Welsh from Suffolk Recording Studios. He's doing our live streaming tonight. He's got a show on Thursday nights that he's streaming on Twitch. Follow his Twitch channel at SRS Live. They've got a lot of great live streaming things going on there. And drink beer. Donate now. $5, $10, anything will help. We are also going to plan to restream the concert the bands that we recorded. So we're leading up to that, and then hopefully you guys will all tune in, and I don't know.
We appreciate all the support for the music industry, for the beer industry. It's important to keep both of them going. They all feed off each other, and we want to be here on the other side of this for everybody to have entertainment and have these social events whenever we actually can get back to normal with them. But we miss everybody. We're looking forward to having everybody back
absolutely.
again.
So help support the breweries and the musicians. Anything that you can donate will help. It'll help us bring more and more entertainment to your home and help us take care of what we've already done and provide a platform for more things like this and more great musicians to come. So I think without further ado, we are going to tune into Paul Mahas with some of his original music that I have not heard, so I'm excited.
Yes.
And thank you, Paul, for coming tonight and being with us.
Thank you, Paul.
Confess there's something tragic in her eyes. She's in the beauty remains confined. Will she stay up with all the dreams inside? I wonder why. Broken glass, the squeezes in her hand. She stands there, lets it bleed. Perfectly mistaken, she don't need no help outside herself. Believes there is nobody else. I wonder why. She's breaking all the things that she loves, forsaking everything that she does, mistaken that she can't rise above. Yeah. She has no fear until the morning after, cocktails mixed with tears, suicidal fairy tales. She's sleeping off her life to find a peace of mind. I wonder why. She's breaking all the things that she loves, forsaking everything that she does, mistaken that she can't rise above. She cried, if only she'd open her eyes, the world won't stop spinning. She cried, that's all right, and she's light again. Obsessed, there's something magic in her eyes. Blessed, I guess, the way her inner beauty shines. I wonder why. Breaking all the things that she loves, forsaking everything that she does, mistaken that she can't rise above. She's breaking all the things that she loves, forsaking everything that she does, mistaken that she can't rise above.
That's called breaking.
Well, doc, you never warned me about the side effects, like that pain in the neck and all the rest. It's the rage and sleepless nights. I don't act my age, I get drunk and fight. Moods that change like the tide. Bottom of my lips, don't speak my mind. Lump in the throat and an aching back. Memory lost, I can't recall no facts. Dry mouth and a bloody nose. It's that time of the month, I do suppose. Got a rash and a gas that just won't quit. I'm always wrong and I'm full of it. Doc, what the heck? I'm so upset. I can't deal with all of these side effects. I'm irritable, I can't see straight when I'm right on time. You know I'm still late. Look in the mouth, this ain't nothing right. I'm always jumpy and so uptight. Got run over in my own truck. Perhaps I'm just one unlucky fella. I'm like that rabid dog waiting to put down like the old yellow. I'm still alive, oh, despite my woes. Well, I guess they say that's just how it goes. I'm kind of like that guy in the Bible named Job. Well, I'm somewhat desperate, Doc, and I'm out of hope. Well, you never said a word, so I thought I'd check. Try to understand these side effects. I'm serious as a heart attack. I'm a broken man with an aching back. And you know, I haven't gotten it in quite a while. I always get under the hood, I'm still quite virile. The doc shook my hand, and then he smiled, and then he shook his head and laughed a while. He said, son, well, you sure done saved my life. And the doctor said, that's what you get for stooping my wife. I said, Doc, how'd you deal for so many years? He just pat me on the back and said, son, I've got a lot of patience. Well, I guess it wasn't worth trying to get me side sex, 'cause now I'm suffering those side effects. Oh, the side effects. Yeah, the side effects. She's got that effect on me. That's my Johnny Cash tribute. Woo! Just like a simple note. Oh, that sings straight to my heart. My love, I keep waiting for your words to come alive. 'Cause I'm dying if you promise is all life. My love is like a distant star. I can see just where you are, but I can't read from here. My love, I keep waiting for your words to come alive. 'Cause I'm dying if your promise is all life. I keep waiting for your words to come alive. 'Cause I'm dying if you promise is all lies. 'Cause I'm broken if your words don't come alive. Yeah. Oh. If you could open up your heart, then I could see you who you are. If you could open up your heart, then we could see you. If you would open up your heart, then you could see me too. If you could open up your heart and let us love you. Woo. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
no wasted time. Let's not save it for the weekend, baby. Let's go have some fun. Every day we die, just a little something you can't outrun. Now there may be several lives, but you only need one if you get it right. So let's not save it for the weekend, baby. Let's have fun tonight. Now I'm just speaking for myself, 'cause I can't speak for no one else. Stimulate that conversation, you meditate your revelation, realize who you are. All we are shooting stars. Baby, let's not let this moment pass us by. Wasted time is all it's waiting after. We can fly and go high as you want. No wasting time. If you're willing, baby, let's go deeper. There's no need to run. Energy's going through the roof, so let's just have some fun. Carefree, no need, try to please nobody, no. Let's be you and me, who cares where we go? Now I'm just speaking for myself, 'cause I can't speak for no one else. Stimulate that conversation, you meditate your revelation, and realize who you are. All we are shooting stars. Baby, let's not let this moment pass us by. Wasted time is all that's waiting after. Yeah, we can fly and go high as you want. No wasting time. Baby, let's not let this moment pass us by. Wasted time is all that's waiting after. We can fly and go high as you want. No wasting time. Baby, let's not let this moment pass us by. Wasted time is all that's waiting after, baby. We can fly and go high as you want. No wasting time. No wasting time. Yeah. I got two. You know you got it, baby. I'm feeling mad about you. I'm feeling that I love you. I feel I want you. Right in the valley, watch this fire light the sky. One desire takes me higher. Love is the reason why I'm giving up all of my love. Giving up all of my love. All of my love. All right. To the ends of the earth I will go. Lay my hands upon your face. Let all my feelings go. Right in the valley, watch this fire light the sky. One desire takes me higher. You are the reason why Giving up all of my love. Giving up all of my love. All of my love. All right. One with the rhythm, one with the beat. Give in to the passion. Feel the heat. One with the rhythm, one with the beat. Give in to the passion. Feel the heat. Dance only to the rhythm of our beating heart. The rhythm I felt from the very start. Dance only to the rhythm of our beating heart. The rhythm I felt from the very start. Give it, give it, give it, give it, give it, give it. Giving up all my love, yeah. Giving up all my love. Giving up all my love. Oh, thank you very much. Brand new. They call themselves cowboys. We've been out riding for days. They sit on high horses, call their enforcers, try to convince us to change. They got us holed up at the smoke all cupped out bar, with whiskey shooters and AI computers trying to besmirch our good name. Handing out Bibles at the old time revival for our soul survival. To hail the arrival, proclaiming our Savior's alive. But if you don't think like they do, they curse and enslave you. You might even get crucified. They're hard on our trail, got the law on our tail. We sure had our women and fun. Well, maybe it's time to leave it behind, 'cause only the good die young. That's what I said. La, 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 let's sing this last song. La, 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 let's all sing along. La, 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 let's make this the best damn last song. La, 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 let's all sing along. They call themselves righteous, but we've been out riding for days. The last known survivors, and we just arrived in time for the gallows and sway. The 12 angry lawmen who killed most and more men, judge, jury, all on the way to tell us we're done, blister in the sun, remind us we've seen better days. All right, if you know it, sing it. You sing loud. La, 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 la. Help me sing my last song. You out there too. La, 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 la. La, la, let's all sing along. La, 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 la. Let's make this the best damn last song. Woo, sing it. La, 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 la. La, la, let's all sing along. Come on, let me hear. La, 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 la. Let's make this the best damn last song. La, 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 la. Before they put those cuffs on. Two partners in crime, we both done our time, but they still want us dead or alive. Sure, we've been wrong, more weak than strong, but that don't make us bad guys. Like Butch Cassidy, my son dancing me. Wish we could all get along.